Hi, I'm Gail Orr. I'm with Western New York Sidesaddle chapter of the American Sidesaddle Association. Today we're going to do a back tracing. So Stephanie Baker is one of the ladies that is with our chapter, and she has graciously volunteered to let us do a short video of her two horses. The first horse I'm going to do a back tracing of, and then the second horse she's going to do a tracing of, just to understand how to do that. Also with us today is Susanna Richardson. She's actually doing some of the filming for us, and I hope you enjoy this video. Okay. Hi, how are you? Can I touch you a minute? How are you, sweetheart? Yeah. Basically what I like to use is, this is just electrical wire, and I like to use electrical wire for this, and I just put it over the withers, and I really try to shoo it into the shape of her body. Okay, and I'm going to check the other side quick. Okay, so if you want to look at this really quick, Stephanie, and tell me what you think. I want this laying sort of flat on her neck, and I feel like I've achieved that on this side. And then we want the same thing on this side as well. And this side we're not quite there, so I'm going to just bend this a little bit more. Okay, and I'm going to bend this just a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to check this side again.
Yep, that's it.
Yep, I would agree with that. So now what we're going to do is, I have this Christmas wrapping paper. The reason why I grabbed this is because it has all of the little 1-inch squares on it. So when we trace this, we'll be able to know how many inches everything is just by counting the squares. So if you take a cell phone picture of this and then you send it to whoever's doing your saddle fitting, you know what the measurements are just by looking from a cell phone picture. That way you don't have to actually ship the piece of paper to someone. Then what I like to do is I draw the outside. So we'll just hold this kind of flat. And we're just going to trace this. Just like that. Oops, that was where my thumb was. Sorry about that. But we can kind of envision where that is. Okay, then the next measurement we'll take will be down her spine. And what I like to do is, I like to just find where her last rib is, because when you put your saddle on her, you don't want your saddle to be too far back. And being that she's part Arabian, you know, she does have a nice short back, which is great for riding. One of the things you can look at, because you want to ride Western, is let's say that you find a Western saddle and the seat is within where her last rib is on her back, but let's say the skirt extends past her last rib, because that can happen on a Western saddle, even on the Western side saddles. You've got options. One option might be, it may not really cause any interference at all. You'd have to really look at it. But if it did, you can actually have a saddle fitter trim that and make that fit for her. All right, so I'm just going to straighten my way back out. She's being such a good girl. She's being very cooperative. So I'm just going to run this down her back. But I want to make sure that I stop where her last rib is, so that because I don't want to draw the line too long, because part of what I'm drawing is where that's going to stop. I want to straighten this a little bit, because she doesn't have scoliosis here. Okay. So I feel like that's pretty good. And I'm just going to look for where her last rib is. And I'm going to say it's about here, which actually just happens to align where this text ends on this wire. But I'll put a little dot here anyway, because that is a good way to just kind of mark it. And I'm just using a little Sharpie marker. I got this little mini one in my Christmas stocking, and it kind of is scary. So you can see that molds to her back really nice. It's nice and snug along her back. And then all I'm going to do is just draw this shape on this piece of paper, and I'm going to give you this paper when we're done. And I want to make sure I don't go past get on a little bit flatter surface. Luckily this horse over here is being very cooperative. Let's go this way so we got a nice piece of paper. That way we don't have anything contracted. And I'm just going to draw this shape. There you go. So that should give you the length that her back can take. This gives you her tree width, and you should be all set. And then we can just slice this off. And if you want to snap some cell phone pictures of it, you can email that to whoever your saddle fitter is. But I'm going to leave this paper with you, Stephanie, and then you have it, and you can do that at your leisure. And then, yep, exactly. I'll hold it on the side while you do that. That will straighten out a little bit. Yeah, I'm really glad you mentioned that because you do want your horse to stand nice and straight and ideally be on a flat surface. So we're going to go ahead and trace this really quick. Okay. And I mean, people use coat hangers, but I find that this type of a wire actually works better.
Looks like it conforms better.
It does. It really does. Okay, so now we want to find where the last rib is on his body. You know what? Look where my hand is. We agree. So I'll have you hold that quick, and I'm going to put a little mark right there in your fingers. So when we trace this, we'll draw the line to that mark. And then we have the right back length. Oh, yes. Let's make sure it'll hold its form before we let go of it because we don't want it to bend into some weird shape. And then let me just do a little bit like this just so that it holds its shape when we go to trace it. Okay. Okay. And we'll just trace this. This is the top. And we're going to go to that little mark right there. Okay. There you go. Awesome. And we've got his...
So I'm going to say he's got more of a wither than she does.
Yeah, he does a little bit. Hey, we're really glad that you watched our video today. And remember, if you have any questions at all, you can always reach out to us at AmericanSidesaddleAssociation.com. Please remember to leave a comment for us. Tell us what you think. Give us any feedback that you have. And remember to subscribe. Have a great day.